He. Oh, I know. It's time you quit hearing me talk about things that you say, I don't want to hear about politics. But that's only as long as it's not something you want to hear. So I'm going to do something different. It's time for a Judas reading. Found a book yesterday. It's not a book anybody has written. It's a book of my thoughts, which I wrote. That's not just anybody. That's me. And because I know it's detrimental to one's own purpose, one's own sense of self, to get stuck on other people's bullshit too incessantly. I like to throw things out that I've done, things that I do. Oh, Coyote Peak. Oh, broadcasting to you from San Jose, California. It's me. It's Judas. And it's the dawn of betrayal. It's the Judas resurrection for all of you who thought I disappeared. I didn't disappear. I was there all along. Just so happens to be that you couldn't see me. So as I go through some of the older stuff, I find it, and I want you to know that this, it's written from top to bottom. It helps me get to where I'm going better. So if you see me getting confused as I try to read the way you write, and if I forget that this is the way I think, and I'm trying to bring it not down to your level, to your level, on your plane of existence, as I try to do that, as I try to think like you, it sometimes gets backwards to my own sense of self. But it's time for a Judas reading. This was written in the past, in a reality far, far away, a long time ago. Excuse me while I clear my throat. 7 to 12/18 of a pineal intrusion. Pineal, however you want to put it. I read it before I ever heard anybody pronounce it. And at some point, you've heard it 3 different ways, and you have an understanding of etymology. Is that the word? If you have an understanding of how languages work to some little extent, you're already a step above others. So I might be actually the one right when I say 7 to 12/18 of a pineal gland intrusion dedicates itself 7 to 12/18 of a pineal intrusion dedicates itself to the lack of a luster shorn of indifference. The arch nemesis of detriment is the petty manifestation of risk, which crushes the intent of those that would ride close behind fear, picking up that belonging that was never rightly theirs. That lost to fear. Acts as a thing. Mortgaged. That can have its ownership transferred only by he who holds the deed. Of course, he must first conquer what initially caused him to lighten his load before he may engage in reclamation. Only through this process may he opt to relinquish control, and then this need not even be attended to. So then the property loses its value to he who would loot. Let him have it. Let him see that true quality exists only in the value of that which we create. That was written on 13 May 1998. That was way back in the 1900s. We're finally far enough in that we can say way back in the 1900s. Oh my God, this is why pandemics happen every 100 years. It's all fresh and new. People haven't experienced it so much. They can go back and say way back in the, whereas I grew up saying back in the 1800s, we are now saying back in the 1900s because we're a quarter of a century through. And that is a picture, an image I drew of myself without looking in a mirror. I just put my fingers on my eyes and my nose and my fucking face and look at that. 1988, I was in better shape than the country we're looking at. We're only almost 250.